Neville. How are you today?
I'm really well, CK. Good morning to you and good morning to everybody.
So, India's in lockdown, and
Yep.
today I would like to share my sort of mixed feeling, which is a portion of it is sad and a portion of it is angry. Uh, there is an elite group in this country, in my country, who sit in cozy rooms which is protected from all sides, and they have this dumb tool called Twitter, and they basically, without thinking, without applying their brain, they basically bring their arrogance into Twitter. Some guy is saying, hey, prime minister did not made my dog's favorite food as essential commodity during this lockdown, and there are others. So I just want to overlook all of these cynics, and I just want to overlook their foolish comments. I would like to give you what, as a community, what we are doing in our neighborhood. So the place
Yep.
where
That's good.
we have about 3,000 household, and we have a few pharmacies, and we have provision supermarket in our locality, which is reserved for our own locality. So first thing we have done is we've actually closed down or clamped down the main gate of our locality so the other people cannot come in. So completely secure. It's a gated community, and within the community we are building a token system so that people within the community don't crowd the provision store. So we have worked out a system where we have put a upper limit how much provision you can buy, so that there is no over purchase. People don't get panic and buy extra stuff. And then there is a token that is only 5 people can spend 15 minutes at any point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So there are limited tokens which are being generated, and this token generation is being done through an app. So we are trying to do our bit to make sure that we are following the authorities. At the same time, we don't panic as a community and pass through this lockdown period.
It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, this is where your community will be probably copied by lots of other communities. You and I spoke the other week about copying really good stuff that's out there. It's perfectly legitimate, and in these times, it's the best thing you can do. So if you're an SME at home now, it's about getting that little bit of discipline and stop the distractions. You started off with, there's the 1% brigade. There's always the 1% brigade. In India, 1% of 1.4 billion people is a very big number. And all of those people on social media can be a real distraction. And we're human beings. We want to know what's going on. We want to put our nose out and find out what's going on out there. But you've got a business to run. If you want your business to succeed, that's coming out of this pretty, difficult time, now's the time to get a bit of focus, to stop the distractions. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, especially if you've never done it before. If you've sat in that office in a tower block and you've been comfortable with the people around you, it could have been a serviced office, and there's no noise, there's no interference. It's very, very easy to focus on what you do. Now you're sat at home. The dog's barking. Social media's going mad. These things are an absolute disaster. Turn off the connectivity. Turn it on when you want to use it. So this is the biggest distraction we could have. Let's use this not as a distraction, but as a tool that it was used for. Don't use it as your heartbeat, boom, 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 all the time. When it goes ping, as it does, my wife's at home and she has hers on all the time, because she can't go to the office. The office is closed. It goes ping, and on another occasion it goes bong, because ping is a text, bong is an email. If you get this right, you can actually create a symphony of saying to people, can you send me this message at this time? And it'll go bing, bang, bong, bong, ching, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong. And it'll do that all the day. And boy, that will be a distraction. So just turn it off. You know, use it when you want to use it. Now that is real discipline. And I can't stress it enough. But you have discipline. You have discipline every day, CK. You're bright and fresh. You're 5.5 hours later than I am. It's a little early in the morning here. It's about 6:40, but it's about what? Just what? About 12:30 your time? Just after 12, 12:10, something like that.
Right.
So it's midway.
12:15.
Exactly. So it's midway through your day. You've been through all of your routines. You've done lots of work today. Believe it or not, I've had a phone call with Japan already. You know, so I had to be up a little bit earlier. But that's the point. You get into the discipline. You get the distractions out of the way. And the good news is when you do that, you will be very productive. And trust me, this really does work. After 20 years of working from home, and then a previous 15 odd years of traveling the world in various airport lounges, you don't need earphones to block things out. Your ears block things out for you. Now, you might think I'm mad, but if you start to do this, you're so focused on what you're doing, you block it out automatically. And then when your wife or partner says, you know, would you like a cup of tea? You've ignored it because you've blocked it out. And then they turn around and say, are you listening to me? And you hear that one because they've now come in your face. You will learn how to do that. And believe you me, when you learn how to do that, not that your partner will be particularly happy that you're doing that at home all the time, but when you learn how to do that, you will be incredibly productive. So just do it. Stop the distractions. Do one thing. Turn this off. Turn it on when you want to use it. So day 2, you know, another 19 to go. Perhaps, because they only said 21 days lockdown. That doesn't mean to say that on day 19, there's another 21 days coming. Who knows? But just be prepared. It's time to get things right. Great speaking with you, CK. I'm so pleased that your local arena is clamping down and doing some right things.
Right.
And I'm sure it's being copied, which is good news.
Right. So I think we are using an app, so that even for getting those tokens, we don't have to go to any counter or anything. So if we need to buy provisions, we just request on an app and get a token. We get a time allocated. I think it's brilliant. So I think whoever across the world, across India, I think they should do that in their gated communities.
Well, the interesting thing is that could be a way forward, because it doesn't necessarily, difficult times require certain behaviours, but actually those certain behaviours could be followed through after the difficult times. Because the last thing you want to do is to go to your local provision shop and have 15 people queuing up in front of you.
Right.
So we could be really smart here. So don't make a crisis out of a disaster. Let's make some really good solutions. That's one. I wonder if people are listening out there that they've got their own solution. Send it in. Tell us about it. We can always spread the word, because we'll spread good news. Let's get rid of the rubbish news, the behavioural waste, as I call it. Right. And we can spread good news. Right. So if you've got something good out there, folks, send it in and we'll spread it, because that's what we can do. Anyway, day 2, I'll see you on day 3.
Sure. Have a nice day, Neville.
Will do.
Bye-bye.